So hello everybody, welcome back. Um, so the nightmare continues. Today I had power for a few hours, and um, you can hear in the background the insects to this side, and to that side you can hear the generators. Uh, so grab your coffee. And if you wanted to share with me, we'll add it. Links for that down below. So tomorrow is my birthday, and I am depressed. I am, uh, my faith in God is is not being tested because there is no way I don't believe in God or something like that. But the relationship with him, by the way, is not in the question here because God has nothing to do with the problem with electricity. But my relationship with myself, oh hell, that one, yeah, that one is yeah, it's becoming an issue. Um, because I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed, I'm pissed, and I have a lot of bad emotions. Most of them are related to not working or working with this media because at least I can make videos. So, having said that, then I'm going to share with you some of the things that you can do to prepare a little bit to, to help out the situation. Number one, the thing is that you need to keep calm, but quite frankly, keeping calm is not going to be. I mean, like I said, if this was your first time and you're panicking, then that's kind of cool. If this is like a second time and then you're kind of like, yeah, I'm not panicking again, yeah, that's going to be kind of cool. However, if this is happening to you every day and then you're getting used to this, then um, it's going to be an issue. And so, even kids right now, when there is a problem and the kids are in the school and there is no power, they just go kind of like, again, so yeah. So the things that will help you are number one, understanding that this is something that you cannot control no matter what. So keeping calm will at least you know uh, be at help to you so that you don't collapse. But if you need electricity and you need internet to make money, then that is another matter, especially if you're a man. So this is going to affect your mindset a lot, and it's going to lower your vibration a lot. So anyway, number one, keep water tanks filled and make sure that you rotate them. The reason being is that when there is no power, there is no water in certain places. So, for example, if you live in a building, then you are not getting water because water will not go through the water pump, and so that one is going to be an issue. Uh, like I said, today is Friday, and I do not have water through the pipe either, and so it's a hellish day. And so right now is one of those days in which now I have no power, no internet, no water, no nothing. But I'm working on it. So anyway, next thing is make sure that you have cash with you. Cash is going to help you out a lot. Um, Although here is what happens: a lot of places will not take cash because they do not have coins to give you change back, or they don't work with cash anymore, or they are collapsing because they won't take certain bills. So, for example, they will not take bills that are 100 or stuff like this because they are easy to counterfeit and stuff like this. So it's insanity level. So make sure that you understand how to handle yourself with or without cash. And for this one, you may also need to understand how to handle other people that have the same problem. Meaning, I mean, you might have cash, but maybe your sister will come to you and say, "Hey, I also need cash, so please help." Or maybe you have somebody else that is also asking for your cash, like your gardener, your maid, or whoever it is, and so cash is going to become expensive to the point in which people are actually buying cash up to 20% more. So if you wanted to get $100 cash, you have to pay 120 through the internet, and that is if you have access to that and you can prove and to somebody that you have that. And that way you will not have to go to the bank, and you paying $20 out of 100 is cheaper than you having to try to go to the bank and take credit. And I have mentioned this in a lot of videos. The cash insanity level uh, that you will face. And you're trying to get cash and it's going to cost you 20%, you can imagine, and you're not making any kind of money, you can imagine that all of the problems that you're going to start getting. And you don't know the importance of credit until you actually don't have it. And the reason why the United States has so much influence and so has so much entrepreneurs and has so much prosperity and everything else is because they have all kinds of credits. But if you were in another countries, credit is something that is not is not like in the US, and it is insane level, that one. By the way, credit is not going to happen when you have no power either. So if you're thinking that you can pay things with credit cards and things like this, then you are going to be, surprised by huge crashes against everything that you believe that they will be working, and they're not. Next thing is have a lot of batteries that are tested. So have a battery tester. A lot of people, don't have battery testers, and then they think that the device is broken, or they don't change the batteries frequently or things like this. So you want to have like a checklist for your own house, as in every 3 months you check, or every month you check flashlights, fire alarms, and all kinds of toys, and all kinds of remote controllers, and all kinds of things to make sure that the batteries are working, and write them down, because if you ever run out of batteries and things like this, and you don't have cash and you do not have the time or whatever, you can find the batteries that are working in your kids' toys or in someplace else. And so it's very, very, very important that you have this information written down and that you do this in a monthly basis. I know it's a pain in the ass, by the way, having to do all of these things, but it's not like it's going to be, a picnic going through a powder every day, and being in this situation in which everything is so unstable every day. The next thing is, like I said, make sure that the power banks are full. Make sure that you understand how to open the doors and how to open the garage and how to open things, especially electronic things, when there is no power. Now, this means that you may need to buy tools. And so if this happens to you and you don't have the tools, then you will have to, borrow them. If nobody has them, then you are going to be locked in, and then you're going to have, waste of time. And if you need to go to the bathroom and you're locked in, or something like this, it's going to be one of those days in which you are kind of like, what the hell? Yeah, because everything is working against you. And so it's going to be an issue. Next one, make sure that if you're going to a clinic or a hospital, you understand what the protocol is for when they don't have power. The reason being is that if they don't have power, then they cannot access certain systems, including but not limited to insurance and things like this. And so if they can't access the insurance information, then you will have to pay for things, and then the insurance is going to reimburse you. And the reason being, well, if the hospital cannot, contact the insurance company, then you're on your own for that one. So that's going to be a problem. So make sure that you understand how things are being done in your local area in terms of getting information for insurance companies and things like this when they have no internet and when they have nothing. Because if they have to do all of these things by phone, they can take forever. And so if you have, consultations or whatever, they might need to be postponed, not because the hospital may have generators or whatever, but because the systems might not be working. And so if you don't have the money and you don't have the cash or whatever, then you're going to be billed, and this is going to be like a thing. And so make sure that you understand this one, because it will be a pain in the ass, especially if you have a problem like having to go through dialysis or something like this. Same thing with the pharmacy, with the prescriptions, because if your doctor used to send the prescription directly to your pharmacy, if they have power, but because of the power outage there is no system, then they cannot send the prescription to your regular pharmacy, and that means that it might need to be written by hand. If it needs to be written by hand, then you need to make sure that the handwriting from the doctor, it is very clear, because this is going to be a thing. Doctors, a lot of people die in a regular basis because of prescriptions that are wrong. So try to imagine that when there is no system that will just print them out, and there is no system that will support you to your local pharmacy or things like this, and now you have to give up the prescription, and then you have to wait for the prescription, and then if you go there, the prescription may or may not exist, or may not be there. And if there is a power outage, things like insulin or certain types of medicines will just be thrown out because they need to be refrigerated and things like this. And so that is going to be an issue also, because if you overbuy medicine, let's say insulin, for the next 3 or 4 days or whatever, and there is a power outage, then all of that medicine is just going to go to waste, and then you're going to need to refill it, and then it's going to be damaged, just like food is. There is a lot of things that you don't think about them until you have to go through them, like in a situation like this. And so you better have a plan about how to handle the prescriptions and the medicines that you need. Also, if there is a power outage and you are not necessarily home or whatever, you want to be with your EDC ready, as in your EDC. I have mentioned this before like 1,000 times over. In your EDC, you need to carry your medicine for the next 3 days if it is possible. The reason being, well, there is a power outage and now you're stuck in the elevator, or now you cannot go downstairs, because who is going to go downstairs and go climb up again? Especially if you have issues with walking or your weight or storms outside, on top of the fact that there is no power and things like this. And so it's going to be a mess. So have at least 3 or 4 days in your wallet, not even in your backpack or whatever, just in your wallet, because there is a lot of times in which people will have to wait on their cars, and that can take hours. And when there is a power outage and there are traffic accidents, which by the way they will happen because there is no traffic light and things like this, then you will literally have people that are just going to turn off their cars and not move them and things like this, because how exactly are you going to pull this off about you waiting with your car on for 14 hours because it is a problem up front, because somebody, there wasn't a traffic light or whatever, and then there was a major thing. Also, power outages will affect not just traffic, but they will affect all kinds of things, all of them. So you better have a plan about what to do with your medicine. And at this point, if you're a man, you have a lot of advantages that women don't. So, for example, if you have your period, or if you are a woman and you are desperate and crying and things like this, like I am, then, but a man, it might be kind of like, yeah, it's not that bad. Yeah, I know. But here's the deal. It's not that bad for you if it is 1 day or 2 days. But if you as a man have this problem, and then you cannot make money, and then now it hits you, the reality hits you in the face as a man, oh hell, you are not going to cry about it. And yeah, I'm going to tell you that this is going to be way worse, because you're going to be under a lot of pressure, because you will need to fix everything that needs to be fixed in the home, and you're probably not used to that. And on top of that, you also need to fix everything that has to do with the money, which you are not used to that. And on top of that, you will have to fix everything that has to be with everything, meaning you might need to become a woman in that aspect of handling 40 things at the same time, because there is no water, no power, no internet. Then there is some of your family, might be in trouble because they do not know how to open the garage. Others might be stuck in elevators. Others might be calling you because they do not know how to get home. Others may be, calling you because they are stuck in a traffic thing, and there is all kinds of issues that are happening. Okay, so yeah, and at this point, all of these things will be happening at once, which is why I am so like this. Okay, because we have all kinds of things happening at once. Like, I need to cook. I wanted to cook with my mom. By the way, I don't cook with my mom every day, but I do help her out by doing the dishes, because I have told you before, when my mom is in the kitchen, she's in the kitchen. She doesn't want help. But when there is no light and things like this, then it is all on me, because I'm the one who can handle, a fall or anything when there is a situation like this. So when there is no power, you can't have certain people doing the same things that they were doing before, because the risk is just too great. And so there will be more accidents, more falls, more fires. There will be a lot of issues. And so, one of the things that you can do to prepare for something like this, on top of you making sure that you understand where you're going to get the batteries and things like this, is keep in mind the communication codes with your family. Make sure that they have a plan, as in, okay, if you're going to be in your car stuck for 14 hours because of whatever reason, you better tell your wife, or you better tell someone what you're going to be doing if your husband doesn't come home and things like this. You need a plan for communication. It is one of those things that will help you out a lot. It's not going to replace everything, but at least it will help you manage your emotions. And so anyway, I'm gonna go, because I gotta go to the bathroom or something right now. I want to wash my face a little bit. And anyway, thank you for staying tuned. See you again soon.